Hey, my name is Alexis Willis, and I want to talk to you for just a little bit about 3 ministry tips that I have learned, and I want to share them with you. So, as I said, I just want to give you some information about ministry as I have learned it, and I would like to share it with you. Some other people may have different opinions, but this is how I have learned it and how I would like to encourage some other new ministers in their ministry. So, the first tip is how to minister to someone who does not seem to change. Well, I just want to start by telling you that this is a very touchy subject for me. Um, as I have a very difficult time letting go and letting God do what He can do. That being, as I minister to someone or I witness to them, I want to see the change right then. But in these situations, when we minister to someone and it just seems like it goes in one ear and right out the other ear, we need to know that it is our job to plant the seed and God's job to deal with their heart. We are to plant the seed, and sometimes we might not see the harvest. But once you plant the seed and show the love of God, it's your job to step away and let God do His job. So, my second little tip is how to have tough skin in ministry. That being how to not get your feelings hurt because people are going to say stuff to try and touch those nerves. So there's going to be times in your ministry when someone says something rude or out of place, maybe not meaning to be mean, like maybe trying to give some corrective criticism, or they might just trying to be mean and trying to push your buttons just to see what response they can get. And whatever the reason that they have for saying those things, you have to be able to forgive them and move on. In my life, it is so hard for me not to replay the conversation over and over in my mind, and try and think of better comebacks or thinking of how dare that person speak to me that way. But that is the exact opposite thing that we should do, especially as leaders, as we are called to higher standards. In these situations, it is key to not do that and to quit replaying the situation and pray that God would help you, because you can't let every comment that is said distract you from the purpose that God has called you to do. And the good news is, the more that you are in ministry, I'm told, the easier that this will get. So the third thing I want to say is, how do you know when to say no? A common thing that I see in ministry is ministers running themselves to the max. I see this a lot, and I've seen it in small churches, I've seen it in big churches, and I haven't even been in ministry as long as I have seen these problems take place. But you have to be able to say no when you cannot handle any more on your plate. So the question is, how do you know when it's time to say no? Well, let me just tell you, when you're currently stressed or tired, or you're constantly exhausted, you know yourself better than anyone else, so you should know your breaking point. And when you are constantly in a state of, I don't know how in the world I'm going to tend to all these things at once, it might be time to evaluate that and say, hey, I don't think I can handle anymore right now. And that's okay. It's okay to not be able to do it all on your own. So, as I said, these are tips that I have learned, and I have chosen to share them. So I want you to remember that it is okay to ask questions, and it's okay to not know the answer to some of those questions. God has placed people all around you to help you in your walk, so do not be scared to ask those people for help.